Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in the world. This is Gloria White coming to you from Utah, USA. And we are in the book of Psalms. Now, something I noticed yesterday is the book of Psalms is actually broken into 4 different books. But the number of the Psalms continues to increase throughout the entire 4 books. So when it gets to book 2, it doesn't start over at Psalm 1, it continues. Excuse me. So, being in the Old Testament, in the King James Version of the Holy Bible, in the book of Psalms, we are at Psalm 12. Now, to the chief musician, which we know is the choir director, upon Sheminith, a psalm of David. Now, Sheminith is the 8-stringed harp. And David played the lyre, which is a harp-like instrument. And Saul, the king of Israel, the first king of Israel, he actually, because he didn't listen to God, evil demons bothered him and brought, trouble upon him. And he wanted someone who could play the harp or the lyre, Lyre, to soothe his soul, because the demons were, after him. And so David was called to be that harpist or lyre, to play for Saul when the demons bothered him. But we know the story of David, how at the beginning Saul, really liked David. I mean, he thought very highly of him. But as Saul failed to follow the orders that God was giving him in order to lead Israel, and he fell away and became attacked and possessed, maybe even, of evil demons. And eventually, David was raised up to like one of his captains of the armies. And they, would sing songs of Saul killed 1,000, but David killed the tens of thousands. And they would sing that in the street, and Saul didn't care for that very much. But he started warring after David to try to kill him. And so many times David could have taken Saul's life. And people say, well, he was right there in the cave, but he cut off a little corner of Saul's cape. Why didn't he just kill him? Because David was an upright man in the eyes of the Lord, and he knew that the Lord had appointed and anointed Saul to be the king over Israel. Even though he failed to listen to God, he was still appointed by God, and David respected that. So he never killed him. But eventually Saul did die, and the Lord appointed David the king over Israel and Judah and Jerusalem. So here we hear David singing a psalm of how the righteous are tormented, and when the Lord steps in. So help or save, Lord, for the godly man ceaseth, for the faithful fail or disappear from among the children of men. They speak vanity, or with idly or falsely, every one of his neighbor. With flattering lips and with a double heart do they speak, or with inconsistent mind, or as sometimes you hear, double-minded. The Lord shall cut off all flattering lips, or destroy them, and the tongue that speaketh proud or great things. Who have said, with our tongue we will prevail, our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy. Now will I arise, saith the Lord. I will set him in safety, or the safety which he yearns, from him that puffeth at him. The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Lord. Thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side, when the vilest of men are exalted. So the Lord steps in when he sees his children who are walking righteously and upright being tormented and persecuted. Like here it says that the poor, the oppression of the poor are for the sighing of the needy. Now will I arise, saith the Lord. Keep that in mind. And as always, I love you.